Hello and welcome to CIS 4510 IT Project Management. In this session, we will continue our discussion about resource management and human resource in particular. In the last session, we addressed the first three processes in resource management, which is human resource planning, the planning phase, and then acquiring the project team, developing the project team, and then in this session, we will address the fourth process, which will be managing the project team. The process of tracking, managing the project is the process of tracking the uh, uh, tracking the team members' performance, providing feedback, resolving issues, and managing changes to optimize project performance. And this is defined in the project management book of knowledge, as we said before. All these definitions I got for you from the book of knowledge. The project manager role is to lead the team through performing various project activities and assess team performance to decide if any changes should be requested or if corrective or preventive actions should be recommended. In the case of any changes, the project management plan will be updated and all stakeholders will be notified. To manage the project team, we can use the following tools and techniques. The first one is the observation and conversation. Project management team monitors progress towards project deliverables and accomplishment, and during the observation, they can make the comments for the team to or make a conversation with the team to make the proper actions or proper decisions. The project performance appraisal, which can be used to develop clarification or clarification of roles and responsibilities in addition to the development of individual training plans. Conflict management, which includes the management of scarce resources, scheduling, and priorities. Issues logs, which is a document that records all project issues and how they were solved. And then interpersonal skills, where project managers use combination of technical, human, and conceptual skills to analyze situations and interact with team members in the proper way. Conflict will happen during project execution. At that point, a conflict management process should be put in place. The conflict will force the team to search for alternative solutions. It's very important to have an open-minded team to be able to resolve a conflict. Actually, conflict resolution should focus on issues, not responsibilities, and should focus on the present, not the past. If a problem happens, there is no need to blame. Now we have a problem, we need to solve it. So let's look at the present and let's look at the future. What are the alternative solutions? And then apply the solution and move forward. We don't look at the past or who did the problem or who caused the problem. That's not the issue now. We look at the present and the future. The different factors that influence conflict resolution are the importance and intensity of the conflict, the time pressure for resolving the conflict, the position taken by players involved, and motivation to resolve conflict on a long-term or short-term basis. Withdrawal or withdrawing and avoiding is one of the tools and techniques of resolving a conflict. Which is in this case retreating from an actual or potential conflict situation. In addition, we can use the smoothing or accommodation technique, which is emphasizing areas of agreement rather than areas of difference. Compromising, which is searching for a resolution or a solution that achieve satisfaction to others. We can also use the forcing technique, which is pushing one's point of view. We can use the collaboration technique, which is incorporating multiple opinions from different views. We can use confrontation or confronting, or problem solving, which is treating conflict as a problem with a set of alternatives, which requires open dialogue discussion. To manage human resources, software can be used to create the resource assignment matrix and the resource histograms. By using project management software for human resource management, you can assign resources, identify potential resource shortage or underutilized resources. You can also level the resources. The project manager should focus on the project goal of enabling project team members to deliver their best work. Project manager must treat everybody in the team with consideration and respect, must understand what motivates each member in the team, and must communicate carefully with their team members. Some of the keys to manage or for managing people include motivation, influence and power, effectiveness, and professional and ethical behavior. There are two types of motivations, either intrinsic or extrinsic. When we say intrinsic motivation, that means causes people to participate in an activity for their own enjoyment. They do that for their own enjoyment. In the intrinsic, it causes people to do something for a reward or to avoid a penalty. For example, some children take piano lessons for intrinsic motivation, they enjoy it, while other takes these classes for extrinsic motivation, which is to get a reward or avoid punishment. Abraham Maslow argued that human beings possess unique qualities that enable them to make independent choices, thus giving them control of their destiny. And he developed a hierarchy of needs, which states that people's behaviors are guided or motivated by a sequence of needs. This graph explains more how human motivation is driven by the different needs, as was explained by Maslow hierarchy. On the other hand, Friedrich Herzberg wrote several famous books and articles about worker motivation. In his book, he identified two types of factors, motivational and hygiene. Motivational factors such as achievement, recognition, the work itself, responsibility, advancement, and growth, these factors produce job satisfaction. While for hygiene factors such as larger salaries, more supervision, and a more attractive work environment, these factors cause dissatisfaction if not present, but do not motivate workers to do more. There are also other theories that addresses achievement, affiliation, and power, such as McClelland needs theory, which states that specific needs are acquired or learned over time and are shaped by life experience. The following are the main categories of acquired needs. Achievement, which is people with a high need for achievement, like challenging projects with attainable goals and lots of feedback. Affiliation, people with high need for affiliation, desire harmonious relationships and need to feel accepted by others. So managers should try to create a corporate work environment for them. Power, People with a need for power desire either personal power, not good, or institutional power, which is good for the organization, that provides institutional power seekers with management opportunities. Actually, many researchers addressed this area. To learn more, you can search for motivational achievement and power theories, and you will get several related articles. Thamhim and Weilman, Thamhim and Weilman developed a list of ways to take control or have influence on a project, such as authority, which is the legitimate hierarchical right to issue order. Assignment, the project manager's perceived ability to influence a worker later work assignments. Budget, the project manager's perceived ability to authorize others use of discretionary funds. Promotion, the ability to improve a worker's position. Money, the ability to increase a worker's pay and benefit. Penalty, the project manager's ability to cause punishment. Work challenge, the ability to assign work that capitalize on workers' enjoyment of doing a particular task. Expertise, the project manager's perceived special knowledge that others deem important. Friendship, the ability to establish friendly personal relationship between the project manager and others. Projects are most likely to succeed when project managers influence people using expertise and work challenge, while projects are more likely to fail when project managers rely too heavily on authority, money, and penalty. Power can be considered as one way to influence behavior to get people to do things they would not otherwise do. There are several types of power, such as the coercive power, the legitimate power, the expert power, reward power, and the referent power. After controlling the team, knowing exactly how to deal with the team and with the different behaviors that you have in the team, make them collaborative, work together as one team, then at that point you can do what's called resource loading. And resource loading refers to the amount of individual resources exist in an existing schedule that requires that's required during specific time periods. It helps project managers to develop a general understanding of the demands of a project that will make that's need to be done on the organization resources and individual people schedule, how to schedule the people within that project. In that case, we have to understand two main or major problems: either overallocation or underutilization. The overallocation means assigning more activities than a resource can handle or perform. The underutilization is a condition where in the resource available are not being used to their full set potential or ability. If you look at Joe's working schedule here, you can see that he has been scheduled for more than 8 hours per day. Since 100% means 8 hours, then 300% at a certain point, which is the red area, 300% means 24 hours, which considered as over allocation for one resource. To make sure that no one resource being overallocated or underutilized, the project manager perform what's called resource leveling. Resource leveling is a technique for resolving resource conflict by delaying tasks. Resource leveling creates smoother distribution of resource use. This diagram shows how resource leveling works. To get to the next activity, I need to finish activity A, B, and C. Activity A duration is 2 days and it needs 2 workers. Activity B duration is 5 days and it needs 4 workers. Activity C duration is 3 days and it needs 2 workers. If we are going to start all activities at the same time, I will need 8 workers for the first 2 days, then 6 workers for only 1 day, and then 4 workers for the last 2 days. During the first 2 days, everybody's busy, while during the last 2 days, we have half of our workforce underutilized, not doing anything. So with the slack or lag of time that I have for both activity A and C, we level the resources that we have, then by delaying activity C and until activity A is done. At that point, we will use only 6 resources instead of 8 resources, and all resources will be utilized 100% all the time during all 5 days. There is no resource overallocated, no resource underutilized. Everyone is working and with a full capacity, 8 hours, 100%. From the example and from previous slides, we conclude that resource leveling requires less management. It may enable project managers to use a just-in-time inventory type of policy for using subcontractors or other expensive resources. It results in fewer problems for project personnel and the accounting department. It often improves morale. So in general, we give the following advice to any team manager. Be patient and kind with your team. Fix the problem instead of blaming others or blaming the people. Establish regular effective meetings. Allow time for teams to go through the basic team building stages. Limit the size of work teams to be from 3 to 7 members. Plan some social activities to help project team members and other stakeholders get to know each other better. Stress team identity. Nurture team members and encourage them to help each other. And at the end, take additional actions to work with virtual team members if you have some of the teams are off-site, not on-site, so try to do that. That will be all for the session. If you have any questions, you can email it to me through Falcon Online. Thank you and have a great day.